Nancy Williams. I'm the new County representing District 1.
Thank you.
I've taken over for John during his brief run. I'm from Cass City. What I was going to tell you, you probably heard about me already or read something about me. I worked in banking, we were just chatting, worked in banking for a number of years. Served on the North Branch Board of Education for 12 years, 3 years as secretary. Got my master's degree, worked at Grady Foundry in Vassar for a number of years, took an early retirement. Spend time now also on Parks and Recreation. I'm involved with Cass River Greenway. And then I help my son out every once in a while when he calls, Mom, can you help me? Or something or other. He's an insurance agent in Carroll. I had 4 children, 6 grandchildren. My husband is deceased, so I have all the time in the world. My kids, 3 of them live in Lapeer County, Chris lives in Carroll. So I have a free agenda. The only person I have to account for now is myself. So I have time to do the job, and I intend to come out here and visit. I've been attending township and village meetings since I was appointed. And I hope to be out here to visit your township at least quarterly, so you'll see the presence. And if you need something, if you run into an issue, you have my card, my information is also on the website. Please feel free to contact me and I'll do everything to help out.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Angie Hacker, 4509 Gager, per the public policy, I need to do this. So I noticed that the shed is gone, and may I ask, what's that?
The shed?
Yeah, the shed's gone. And I'm sorry, I haven't been here the last few meetings, I had quite a few obligations that I had to meet. But, so may I ask, are we giving away township property, Tracy? No, I'm supposed to direct it per the policy to Tracy. She's the supervisor and she's supposed to answer the question. That's a policy. That was online and I looked at it today. I know, you can roll your eyes all you want. Well, okay, you rolled your head. Anyway, so are we giving away township property? Especially when there's more than one person that wants this? So I've been watching the meetings online, and so I'm kind of curious on that.
I think there was a motion made for McFarland Excavating to
Give it away?
take the building out of there, move the other building into that spot.
Okay, so we're talking about who got the shed, not the job to be done. I can understand that. We're talking about the shed. I know more than one person, I guess, per the last meeting, I think. More than one person said it was already spoken for. Another person wanted the shed and was hoping that if they didn't want it.
I don't think that happened in the meeting.
Yeah, I think it pretty much did.
I think it was after the meeting.
No, it was during a taped video of the meeting last week or last month. So someone had mentioned that it was already taken.
Wayne had asked me what we were gonna do with the shed, and I told him I had.
Okay, was that after the meeting? Because no, it was during the meeting. I'm sorry, because it was during the meeting.
I was just, I thought
Either way, it
Maybe I talked to him
doesn't
after
matter.
also.
So
I
where's
know
the shed
what
today?
it's at our yard in Clemson.
So who got the shed?
I took the shed. The township hired me
So-
to take it out of here.
Oh, they hired you to take it out, so now you own it. Are you demoing it, or are you taking it for personal property or personal gain?
He gave.
Well, I mean, I can buy a dumpster and put it in it. Or,
Well, there's other people that wanted it, so that's why I was.
yeah, but it was already determined that we were to take it out of here.
That's not the point. The point was it's a shed that now is sitting in your yard, right? And it's erect, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not demolished. So if you're gonna demolish it, you would demolish it here and put it in a dumpster and moved it from that point, probably. So can you, I'm gonna ask my neighbor here,
Move the other shed over, would have cost no
Well, the price to demo was 600. I was supposed to get a price to move the other shed, which I did, and just decided to just do it while I had the equipment here, so it didn't cost anything.
Yeah,
But, I mean, I guess my thought is, the rest of the board consider what they want, but I was hired to take the shed out of there, I took it out with the most efficient way that I could take it out.
okay, so during the meeting, somebody else say, hey, if you change your mind, cause you had made a comment that somebody else already wanted it, and that you already had it spoken for, so was that you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you wanted it, and because you're on the
Well,
township
I
board,
decided after, looking it over and debating what was the best way to take it out, that I would be able to use it.
okay, so you had precedence over anybody else in the township, okay, that's good to know. The fencing, now that's another subject, because I know I only got 3 minutes, so I'm gonna talk fast. I told it was ugly, I heard that it was an ugly fence. The fence was put up because of a couple reasons. One of the reasons that the wreaths and all the decorations would blow into the farmer's field and would get caught in their equipment, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if that's true or not, but
No.
No?
Not a problem.
Oh, are you a neighbor?
That's on my farm.
Okay, so that
I've
was,
never complained about the trash flying out.
so why was the fence erected, out of curiosity?
That's a good question.
I have a couple of things that I've heard in the past. I've
Let's
heard
leave
that.
the public comment towards the board, please.
Yeah, well, so I've heard in the past that there might have been, people running four-wheelers through the park, going down the road, through the cemetery. And so another reason the fencing was put up. So what funding was used to put the fence up?
I believe it was ARPA
It was
money.
ARPA money, the COVID money.
COVID money. Okay, so now you're going to tear down a perfectly good fence. And you're gonna take that out for bid, and then you're gonna put it up for sale, and what are you gonna do with that money?
Put it back into township property.
Oh, well, isn't that federal money that you guys use to put that fence up?
Which would be going back.
To the federal government? You pay it back? Is that how that works?
Yeah, exactly, it goes back into government, am I right or am I wrong?
It goes back into it should be going back into our funding, is that
That's
correct?
Our
And then our general funding, and it can be used for whatever is needed for the
Government.
township.
property.
And nothing said that we had to use that money to put a fence up.
No, you're right, but you put it up for that one reason.
And
And it's like a perfectly good fence. Is it an ugly
We
fence?
did not put that fence up.
You're right.
That was up before.
Because so for some reason they're going to tear down a perfectly good fence is what my main concern is. They're gonna bid somebody to do it, and then they're gonna sell it. So, my curiosity
It's
is it an
not the
ugly
reason-
fence?
The reason the fence is being taken down has nothing to do with it being.
Well, then tell me why the fence is being put down.
There is a lot of issues with plowing and so forth, maintaining.
Plowing?
Yes. getting-
Plowing. I don't see any fencing along one of the little roads to.
It's all the way along the back road and it's along the.
So you're saying it's like within feet of the road.
There's no reason for the fence. None of the neighbors that border the township cemetery here want the fence. And there's more maintenance just on taking care of the weeds around.
Oh, maybe like a little spray line, because I've seen, I've seen the bill, I've seen the kid partially do the, yard. What's a little bit of spray of weed control, cause he does spray weed
What good is the
control.
fence doing? Why do any spray along there if you don't need to?
Well, from what I said
And maybe we'll
again,
get a little bit of money out of it, I don't know. We've had a couple offers, we haven't taken any of them yet to get some money back.
Well, we haven't really advertised it.
No.
well, you're supposed to take that out to bid, right? Is that what you're?
Well, the intent
So,
was
and
to
if-
sell it after.
So you're saying it's an ugly fence, or there's just no reason?
I say there's
I mean,
no
it's
reason
like,
to have it.
there's no reason to
I
have
really
a
don't
fence
care
that's
what the
already
fence
up.
looks like.
And it actually looks really nice.
Thank you for your comment.
Okay, well, no answers were ever given, so thanks.
But I did say, how much did the fence cost? Did it cost like 20,000 or something? What did it? I thought they had, from what I understand, when I was coming to meetings previously, that they had to use the COVID money up or else lose or give it back. And that's one of the reasons they decided with the shed and the fence. But I could be wrong, I'm just remembering.
We still have
what
money in that account too that
Oh,
we
really?
haven't spent.
and
The
you-
rest of it is earmarked for fire department stuff.
Okay, did it have to go back? I thought it had to go back by a certain date.
Not as long as it's earmarked for spent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just didn't
Yeah,
know
you
that.
had to
Just a question.
designate what you were gonna use it for.
Mhm. So if you decide to sell the fence, you'll give people, you'll advertise it like so much per foot or something like that, or you haven't decided?
Yeah.
Or is it going to
During
McFarland's
public comment right now.
driveway?
Okay.
Can I say something?
Yeah, yes, public
So
comment.
all of you on the board were elected to this position, correct?
You would
Yeah.
think so.
Each
You would,
year.
I would think so.
She
Yeah.
was appointed.
And you've all got just as much authority, say, to remove that fence as the previous board was to waste the $30,000 and put this stupid fence up, right?
Yes.
But it's wasted already to put it up. Why would you waste money to take it down?
When I questioned after that fence was put up, Tim Rummel told me, you should see all the stuff that was blowing across the highway off the cemetery.
Mhm.
Well, the section along the highway don't even have a fence up. So,
Oh, well. We're looking at from what,
And I'll
from where I
say
heard
again.
this way.
none of the neighbors complained about any of it.
The fence was $27,652.65.
What do you think you'll recoup from that?
Couple thousand, just guessing.
And why would you waste the
We don't
time
need
and
the
money?
fence.
Cost.
Nobody wants, who wants the fence? The neighbors don't want the fence.
Well, I got an ugly fence I gotta look at, which I can't even drive around my property, to go into my little easement, because we have brush piles that's 4.5, 5 foot tall. You know, that's an ugly fence, if you wanna talk about a fence. But I have to look
Any
at that
other
again.
public comment? Okay. Moving on. Did everyone get a moment to read the minutes?
I'm gonna make a motion to approve it with, one correction, I see here, the last bill, under our motion to pay the bills, it's audit paid. I didn't catch that one, so it's not really draft instead of posted. I know when we do our audit, they look at motions and minutes to make sure that it's correct, so, I'm gonna ask that that be corrected to positive. And then I make a motion to approve the minutes with that correction.
Do we have any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes.
With my old eyes. Treasurer's report, I've got the financial report, everything seems to be doing well. We'll be getting December taxes in here shortly, in a couple weeks, they'll start rolling in. I didn't do anything yet about moving any money into a CD, so I went to a meeting with the treasurers, to learn how to get the bills uploaded to the company that prints them and mails them for us. And quite a few of the townships have moved some money to some bank. They seem to be paying well, so I've got to send copies of several months of statements and that, the analysis that tells how much money we have at different times during the year and stuff, to, one of the gals at Thumb Bank, and she's gonna give me a proposal of what she thinks they could pay, and I kinda wanted to compare that before I would reinvest any other money with independent right now, so I got the information together, I just need to scan it so I can send it to her, cause I have it in paper form instead of, so I haven't moved any money there. I did put on the back, I got time today to go and put the receipts of what we got in October. We got $11,899 from revenue sharing from the state of Michigan, $200 from, a land division fee from Rocha, a zoning permit for $100. Something similar to revenue sharing, and I really can't find much explanation about it, and I wasn't familiar with it. Local Community Stabilizing Authority payment, it was $3,600. That came, and I don't know how often that comes, I've got to try to do some more research on that, but it's in the bank. We had $250 for an opening and closing, and another $500 for another opening and closing. And then, as far as our disbursements last month, our gross payroll was 4849, and then we had our ambulance and Brad for his zoning permit, Cogitate for the software support, DTE, Terra, McFarland, that was mowing, Michigan Department of Treasury was our, state of Michigan withholding for the quarter, and then our payroll, withholding for FICA and Medicare, so, everything seems to be in good order there. We need a motion to put that on top of
Sure. Patrick makes a motion to put the treasurer's report on file for audit, needs support, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Old business, cemetery rates that we talked about last month, the probably we changed it to 50 cents a square inch.
Okay.
And then I put a description in there, because it wasn't in there before, you can pass it on.
Size of one is base plus 3 inches on all sides.
Okay.
So, you give me a little more.
Didn't we also change it that it was the same price no matter what day it was?
I think that was already on there.
Oh, it was already.
Lisa,
1,600.
you had a concern, I thought
Yeah, I
you should
didn't know
know.
I didn't know if there was a difference in what Wade charges, if it's a winter time and you have to thaw something before you can open a grave.
Not with some other cemeteries we do, but
But we
Wisner
don't,
is flat.
okay.
We
So
just
it's
raised
the
it.
same regardless of what time of year it is, okay. 'Cause I wanna
And
make
Wisner
sure
has
shooting
a great-
ourselves in the footer if we should put a little asterisk that said, you know, there may be some situations
No,
that are
but-
more than this.
Wisner has a great thawing unit.
Okay,
Yeah, so, you know, the Wisner has a way to thaw
Okay.
great, you know. And if I need propane, I
you
would
don't
probably
want to
charge
torch or
that.
anything?
No, they have one here, but it's a dome you put over the
Okay.
grave, you put a torch in it, leave it there overnight. So Wisner has their own. I mean, propane, I haven't had to use it in a few years.
Yeah.
When I had it. So no, there's no extra charge for it.
So, motion to adopt
Rates.
cemetery rate as a policy, or rate, cemetery rate. I'm trying to figure out if it's a policy
Oh,
or just
okay.
Well,
Cemetery
like
rate.
with the other fees, like the zoning fees and the, you know, zoning,
rates.
rates that also like, somebody has wants it rezoned, zoning board of appeals and that type of thing. We look at those rates every year and adjust them annually, so this could be something that maybe we would adjust from time to time if we need to. You know, we could look at it on a periodic basis, would be the
Yeah,
only thing,
because policy, then it's just rate.
just the rates basically, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think a policy would be more like,
Still
you
need
call
to-
this many hours before, you know, this is more of a rate schedule, I guess I would say, so. I make a motion to adopt the amended rate schedule.
Basically,
Oh,
made it and we seconded it.
No,
No,
I asked a
She
question.
asked a question, I
I thought
misunderstood,
you would,
sorry.
I thought you would.
So who, Lisa did that? Okay. So Lisa made a motion, do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. So we have to sign this. Akron Fire, Akron Fire Department, welcome, you're here. I put attorney on here, I don't know if there was some confusion or whatnot, to say that I had not contacted our attorney yet to help us decide how and if we move forward. He's been out of town with family emergencies, so I just kind of pushed that off a little bit, but I should be able to get a hold of him before the next meeting and get,
We talked about it briefly at the last fire authority meeting for ACW, and Steve had talked to Brian, and Brian thought that it was something, we couldn't make a decision by December, that that there was something in the agreement that made us give the other two townships more notice, it was the vibe I got. But we didn't have anything in writing, it was a phone conversation he had shortly before the meeting with the judge.
So I'll
I
put-
think that the contract we have now with Weaver, I think is like till April or
Mhm.
something even later.
The end of March.
But I mean, we've also got, it's not just a contract for what we paid for, it's the whole authority agreement, it would change everybody's portion that they pay, so,
Everything.
yeah,
Everybody's,
yeah.
So that was it from me. Did you have anything to add?
No, just here to answer questions. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Township water assessment discussion lowered, and Lisa went to a meeting, that's this one. And I will let her walk through this. No, actually, you can walk through the end of it,
Okay,
right?
yep,
I put them on the agenda.
okay.
At the end of her email, she's discussing two different water assessments in this email. Assessments.
Well, it's, every year they have a meeting just to kind of recap where they are with their budget, and how they base their water rates, and they are going up 6 cents per unit. The unit is like 748 gallons, so there's gonna be a 6 cent per unit adjustment. And what does that mean to the average water bill? They said the average use in the Acton and Wisner Townships is 20 units a month, which seems like a lot to me, cause I only use a few. But, you know, they said that's the average from all the users, you know, probably some of the businesses use more, some people with more people living in their house use more than what my husband and I do, it's just the two of us in the home.
Is that 20 units a month or per billing
Per
cycle?
quarter, yeah, per quarter.
So-
So, you take 20 times 6 cents and that's $1.20. Nobody's gonna see their bill go up significantly. But they're recommending that we do consider, increasing our rate per unit to offset that cost, just so that we don't get, you know, in a situation where we're not covering our costs. They said that's what most do, and they gave us a handout here, give me a handout that talks about how they come up with that 6 cents per unit. They base it on the actual cost to treat the water, which is, $3.34, and then a cost share agreement that they have with Bay City. The city of Bay City used to own the water treatment plant, and now Bay County does. So they have an agreement with them to fund some of their retirements from people from the city of Bay City, through MERS and another retirement thing, and that's gonna end in 2033. So that's not always gonna be a cost that's incorporated in our cost of water, but it is at least until 2033. And then there's what they figure their cost to transmission, you know, for the lines and that type of thing. So that's what the 2026, the actual cost of a unit of water is $4.17, and it's increased from $4.11, basically. And then the local costs that are built into your bill are operation and maintenance of the system, some debt retirement, just to make sure when we get to the end of the bond thing and people have paid stuff off, we don't have money left that we owe. So that there's some money in a fund with them, and we are earning interest on that, and then future capital improvements that will, you know, need to replace something, you know, that wouldn't fall under just regular maintenance. One of the things they talked about before was water meters. There are a lot of meters in Bay County and some of the other municipalities that are aging out that fail, but they don't all fail at once, and some of them are, you know, 20, 25 years old. Our meters are different, they're newer, and they're not too worried about our shop, but they said ours have some kind of a battery in them that can't be replaced. And when the battery quits, like a whole bunch of meters at once are gonna fail. So, you know, a meter right now, they said is about $300. So they thought maybe at some point we might consider, when we get closer to the end of life of our meters, of adding like a $5 a quarterly bill fee for meter replacement, but I don't know, I look at the money that we have in there, and you have a lot of money in there.
How long are the meters supposed to last?
20, 25 years, and our water system's about half that old. We got it, came online in
Almost halfway
2013,
there.
so we're about halfway there, so.
Your battery just.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it would be easier to have people pay, you know, $20 a year, so that the money was there to replace the meter, rather than say, okay, your water bill now is $300 because you have a meter replacement cost. So that may be something to look at down the line, but Trevor didn't seem to think that that was, too big of an issue. I talked to him a little bit about what was discussed at the last meeting about lowering the assessment, or the tap fee. And he said he really wouldn't recommend it. He said we have fewer customers on our water system than what, he said Merritt Township is $10,000, and yeah, that's less than we are, but he says they have more customers. So if a repair happens, there's more people to spread that out over, versus us, we have fewer customers, we have under
But
300 customers.
But if we were to have a lower rate, maybe we'd get more customers coming on.
But we're also limited to how many, with water pressure, how many
No,
customers.
he said that we can add a lot more, he said that's not gonna be a problem for a long time. He said we will not overload the system.
Akron might.
Yeah. Well, I flat out asked him if he thought it would be a good idea to lower their assessment, and he told me no.
Then we hook up first.
What's that?
If we hook up before
Oh,
Akron,
right.
more
Well,
before
there was projected
I
growth
know
of
that
1 to
they-
2 new
I mean, I'd seen you had
hookups
mentioned
a
like
year.
works out there. The
Mhm.
problem with like that dead end is it's just a dead end. They're
Mhm.
blowing water off there to clean it out
I
a
know.
lot because it'd be
Yeah,
better
it's
if
too-
more was being used.
It's still gonna be a dead end though.
Well, but the more connections, I mean, I'm just using
Yeah,
that as an
yeah.
example.
It's,
That-
they like to see like a loop where
Right,
it goes
right.
around.
Oh, we have
instead of
quite a few
being just
dead ends,
end.
really.
Yeah, we got one by us and it's
Well,
awful looking when they
I think
flush
there's
it,
two
and they
on
flush it
Willette
fairly
Road.
often, yeah. Yeah.
Down at the park, probably a dead end somewhere. Yeah, so we have a lot of dead ends. There's already a lot of those.
No, that was their budget that their
I meant
department, yeah.
this one you created.
That was-
No, they provide all these documents.
This as well?
Yes, yeah,
And
yeah, this was our budget from 2024, 2025, and 2026.
Alright, so any questions,
Is
any
this something
discussion?
that we wanna talk about any further, or as far
I
as
would,
the?
but
Yeah, I would like to.
Yeah, I need to, I don't wanna just
What about you?
say they, just because they said does not
right,
mean a thing.
right. No, I think we gotta do
Is there a lot
our
of
people in our
interest?
township.
Right, is there a lot of interest in people coming in on water? I guess that's what I'm.
Well, there are people that are not on the way the route was initially designed for the special assessment district, and, 12 years ago or 13 years ago when we did it, it went on our taxes, and we got to pay for it over 40 years with this loan that we got from USDA Rural Development. Now anybody getting it has to pay the cost up front.
Right.
They aren't able to spread it over
Yeah.
with their taxes, and it's been adjusted, I think more or less for the cost of living. Wade and I were talking about our initial assessments were 8,100, and now we're up to 13,000. I used a figure, I just did a quick spreadsheet while he was talking to me, and added 3% a year, and it got us up to about 12,000 is what it got up with a 3% cost of living, like the inflationary type kind of thing from,
I guess
Initially.
maybe, and we're not speaking of the same thing, I'm not sure. But what I'm saying is there enough interest to make a difference? You know what I'm saying? If we were to bring it down to 10,000 or leave it at 13,000.
Interest in getting water that don't have it
Yes.
now. There's a
Correct.
pretty, I can bring that to the next meeting, I can bring a list.
Yeah, then I think
Wait
that-
till the next meeting, then we can vote on this if we want.
I don't think so,
I don't know, I'm just saying we've already put it off 2 months, but,
Mhm.
I mean, I guess we gotta, what
Well,
is the
they're
best?
gonna pay,
We don't
they're gonna
have
have to pay up front, and they're also gonna have some costs with, Bay County too. I did ask about that, when I called, there was somebody over by Oak Hurst that's not on the water system, that lives outside of the platted subdivision, that wanted water, and when I told them $13,000, it was like, we'll just keep having our water hauled. But then they went home, and the wife must have worked on them and said, I don't wanna have water hauled anymore, I'd like to have good water at my house and not have to worry about having to call to get water hauled. Because then they call back and said, what can you find out
I
for
mean, I
us?
guess my,
And Bay County, it's about $3,000 by the time you pay their cost, they come
because
out
they
and
gotta
look at it.
tap the line
Yeah,
where it
they've
wasn't
gotta
tapped.
create a tab, and then you're gonna pay for a meter, so whatever we charge, they're gonna have about another $3,000 on top of that. And plus, you know, this person in Old Percy is gonna have to, once the tap is there, he's gonna have to run pipe, and they can run plastic now, where we all had to run copper 13 years ago, to the residents, you know, to hook up to the.
I just think for the people in the township, I just feel that
We're supposed to from the road.
if we could save them some money and get some more people to hook up, we'd be better
Where's
off.
your meter?
I mean, I know we get about
Inside
a
the
year
pole.
right now, maybe
That's
somewhere in there. But that's just my thoughts, is I don't think it makes that much difference. Kinda like what you said, you got $3,000 difference, but if you can get one or two extra people that wouldn't do it, put that money right down on the loan if you want, and then you're saving interest on the loan side. Just my opinion.
Well, and as you had mentioned, you know, it's not just that cost, you have all those added costs.
Right.
And if we take off a little bit off the top, it'll help with the other, you know what I'm saying? That's just my.
Well, we have had people who did pay the $14,000, and that's my concern is.
Well, we
you
have
know,
people that use
everything goes down, you know,
Well, you
we
got-
bought TVs 20 years ago and they.
I don't
Look
think
at the-
infrastructure really goes on.
That was
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
that's what the engineer said with the copper line. We kept
Yeah.
asking and asking, and he's like, well, what do we tell the people that had to use copper line last month? And it's like,
It is what it is.
yeah, there's times are changing, I mean, whatever it is.
I'd rather
So anyway, I guess the board can make a decision, but I make a motion that we change the assessment to $10,000 a year. Any discussion?
And I'm being,
real quick, if we decided this and we found that it was an issue in the future, always change it.
have you got legal advice on this? Because it was the lawyer who told us to raise it. And I think you should be getting some legal advice before lowering an assessment, because I think you could be getting in trouble.
No, it's not.
I don't, again, I haven't talked to legal, I talked to the treasurer about it before too.
Well, I think it probably is a good question for the attorney, though, being a special
pay full
assessment.
price, but
I
other
know
people
there are special
now hooking up, it's gonna get
public hearings
a cheaper
and that
price.
type of things.
Yeah, but.
Yeah,
it
we
was-
had to have public hearings to raise it, but.
Well, we could- wait one more month, but it's already done. You wanna table it, talk to the lawyer, and it's-
Somebody hook up, it's cheaper than what we did.
One thing that I don't remember the fellow's name, I haven't dealt with very many people from the water department, I know Trevor and I know the lady that sends me these reports. The boss, the head of the department said, do we have to ask, Saginaw and Midland for permission in order to have, you know, to extend it beyond what the original system was? And Trevor said, no, I don't think so, this is not enough, far enough out of the area, it's not like we're going over the Merritt Township, or, you know, going a long distance outside of what our original
We've already,
footprint was.
I mean, we've already
Yes.
done that, quite a few outside of it.
I don't know if it would take quite a few, we went just around under the big Vassar Road ditch to Saddleburgs into Akron Township, I don't know how many hundreds we did outside of the original footprint, not a lot.
I think we can make the motion, and if it's incorrect, we can rescind the motion.
Maybe talk to the lawyer.
Wrong with that?
Yeah, I made a motion, somebody else's too. Did you support it?
I support.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I'll vote yea. Patrick,
No,
sorry?
no.
And then also,
That's what it's supposed to be.
Motion passes with 3 yeas. And I will contact the mayor
Anyway.
and if anybody is interested in finding out more about from the county, there is a formal application that you submit, I can email it to you, and then they'll come out and do like a site visit, and they'll give you an idea, but it sounded like the lady I talked to said they have to come up first to tell you, but Trevor said it's $3,000 including a meter, more or less, but they may have some insight as far as where it should go, the tap and that type of thing too. Okay, moving on to Oakhurst abandonment and Brush Road abandonment. I talked with Brent about both, and he is also asking them to accept the original paperwork from Rust Road, even though we made a motion in our minutes and sent the minutes in. I did that in July. We're waiting on the attorney to let them know their best step forward. We're up. So we do have a petition that we signed on that one. We had a copy. Did they really find the old
We
petition?
used
from-
the original,
Okay.
but we made a motion in our minutes to.
To do it because we thought we had lost
agree
it.
with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he says since it's not 2025, he has to ask the attorney if all this paperwork can be used. And if not, he did say he would work with me to restart the process, so
So I can ask.
I agree. Discussion on roads, did everybody go drive around the board members go drive around the township and was I supposed to do that?
I did a little bit,
We
but
get a
I don't
bus?
know very much about
I
roads.
don't either.
Well,
The
think
thing
we
is,
should-
I mean,
we
the
should
roads
do
I
that.
drove on, I don't see like a bunch of bad roads, really. I mean, even the gravel roads around are fairly good
Yeah.
right now, but
Yeah.
still.
But we're
should-
giving up some matching funds if we don't do something,
Right.
is
Off Garner Hanger Road, right, of course, that's kind of iffy on that one.
And
that's
that's
Garner Hanger, right, yeah.
paved though, right?
It's,
Yeah.
They're like
it's,
chip and seal.
yeah.
it's like a puzzle right now. It's like a puzzle.
Drive that all the way out to Hunt, so it's like, geez, it beats.
No, never did.
But that, I mean, that'd be a pricey one if we repaved it.
We gotta keep Cass in mind,
Keep what?
Cass Road,
Yes.
Cat City?
Cass City Road. But in the event that water were to go down that way, you wouldn't wanna pave it prior.
That's not paid right now.
Correct.
Where you're talking
Dust
from,
mess.
starting from
Well,
25.
yeah, that would be nice, but one section or the other.
How many houses are?
But the water would only need to go from Bradleyville that way.
How many houses are?
I don't
in
think you can wait, I don't think water, like, I don't think a main's gonna go down Cass City Road.
To fit.
Just don't see that.
Yeah, I don't need small.
I mean, not
It's gonna
main,
be
they-
in the road right
they-
away.
we've
won't
already
be in the
talked
road
to-
per se.
So you're saying asphalt wouldn't affect the water going?
We didn't have to have any asphalt
Right,
there,
they
we
walk
had,
under the road.
yeah, they poured under the
Oh,
road.
So
yeah.
you're saying, well, maybe paving. Cass City.
Not necessarily, but any kind of work really.
Well, I think we need to kinda keep up on them a little bit, because they'll just all come at once if you
Yeah.
don't do something.
Well, and then we get some matching funds every year, and if we don't do
Right.
something, we forfeit those funds, so it would be good to do something.
You know, the last time we talked about paving, I don't know, paving is.
Paving is expensive, we can't pay
This
very much.
page here, none of
How
these.
much do they match? And is there a cap?
Oh, here, I'll grab it.
Well,
Oh, it's hard to find. Not here.
I thought there was something about the paving where they didn't match as much as they did stone or, I don't recall exactly.
It's, like 3,000.
We didn't do anything this last year, I guess we'd have to look,
Three
and they're so
thousand.
horrible about billing us.
Well, it'd be 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I think it was over $100,000 to pave a mile.
Yeah. It's cost more than that
How
for a
much?
driveway.
I'll say $100,000.
$100,000 to go a mile.
I think it's over that.
You looking that up?
I was trying to look, but I can't get their website to load for some reason.
Is Cassie Laura pretty heavily used road?
Probably.
We got two
We had
houses.
traffic counts on the different roads.
That's what
Yeah.
I guess I'm thinking.
Yeah.
On here? There's some on here?
We have more
There was
money
some on there, cause one of the highest traffic counts was Farm Drive where I live, and that's because of the state public access, it's not because of local houses, for sure.
I think the first part of Cassie, there's two houses on it. One of them is right away from the road.
My thoughts are, you put money into more, and the roads that.
His road gets gravel all the time. There's no freaking holes on it.
Yeah, that would be a lot of people travel that.
Yeah.
That's the one I brought up last year, remember? Allen Road.
Is that the one up on Oak?
Do you think a lot of people use Allen Road, or do you think they go right straight down Garner? Isn't Allen?
Well, it depends. They're going to see when they go anyway.
Yeah, they go to Sebring that way, yep, they do.
Or you can do
Okay, so do you want me to look
get a
into
price
that?
on that.
On full dig out rebuild?
Well, I guess maybe we should, I mean, the road commission, that's their specialty is the roads, and they probably could, I mean, they give us these numbers to look at to say, well, this has got this many traffic count, and this is the last time it was done, and this is the score, but they drive the roads every day. They probably, if you went over to the Akron garage, somebody there would say, well, we think the number one priority in your township would be this. They won't do that?
Zach doesn't know, he works in the Akron barn. Zach doesn't.
This is a start, it's a start.
Yeah.
Well, I think we also need to ask them what the price is for gravel spread right on the road instead of stockpile.
It's gonna stop by,
I
we
think we
haven't
could
talked
save
about
some
that.
money.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, only twice.
Yeah, I think we just gotta decide, you know, if we wanna go with the same amount of tons we did last year, but, you know, we decide beforehand what sections of roads and then they put it on. I can say $5 a ton.
Okay, any other roads that?
Yeah, Tracy?
Yeah.
Elmwood Road between Bradleyville and Bradford. Somebody should take a look at that. It's coming apart. We had it patched last time. It's the expanse has gotten greater. It's starting to pancake, starting to push the shoulder up. I don't know if it can be repaired, like wedged, like they did on Garner Road, or what it might take. But I guess a lot of truck traffic. Well, it gets a lot of traffic, period. So.
Yeah, it is a fairly
Elmwood between this is old.
Bradford and Bradleyville, so down from Graham and Grappley's old house to Works.
Yeah, it's from that hydrant down to Works there. It's getting hammered pretty good.
Between
Bradleyville and Bradford on
Bradley.
yeah.
I vote Kirk Road if anyone wondered.
It's not in our township. You have to go to the Akron meeting and request that.
Bradleyville Road in
Smoke
general is
another
kind
one.
of enough too.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
county.
there's a lot of traffic.
Like traveling with the ambulance and stuff like that, it's.
Oh, that's a
That's
good
County,
song.
Maine, though.
There's somebody that would know what roads are up.
Justin. That's a county, Maine, though.
That roads are good.
Is that?
So the county takes care of that one.
Okay, both of those are the roads I brought up a year ago.
We're in the right way. We're
Yeah.
Man, I remember talking about Brad or
Both of those
Elmwood.
roads are the ones that I keep. Okay, well, I will get started on that.
make 2,000, makes sense.
Alright, we're moving on to new business. Tony and I attended the ambulance meeting last week, so she's just gonna give us a little quick little update.
Yeah, we met on November 11th and, we started meeting at 5 p.m. We had received the monthly financial reports. Justin gave his report. Sounded like things were going pretty smooth. Him and Brooklyn are doing some 6-month training. What was that training?
Instructor coordinator.
Instructor coordinator.
So we're doing an instructor coordinator class. It's not funded by the ambulance, we're doing this on our own. To be able to teach continuing education for all of our members and to eventually hopefully be able to teach EMT class to try to get some more people out here. So it's she's having her work pay for it and I'm having mine pay for it, so it's something that we were using our education budget for outside of here and hoping to bring improvements to here and keep our costs down and help our employees get their continuing ed without trying to look around and do it ourselves.
Make it easier to find somewhere to go.
Well, thank you for stepping up to that.
Oh, that's great.
We also talked about the memorial gifts and get some better definition and what we're, and guidelines on what we're using the money for.
To donate for someone in need.
No, that's one thing that they were saying that we can't use it for.
Right, we work for, away for around.
Around, yes. Okay, and then, we discussed, Wisner Township, website, that we need some updates for, the ACW for the township.
For the minutes for the stuff?
No, I think ACW needs to update their website
Oh,
for
okay.
Wisner Township.
No, that's not,
That's,
maybe I misunderstood, but that's.
I don't know that's our
Because
website.
I don't think I have much on it.
Yes, I didn't either.
And that isn't the fire board
understand that.
meeting minutes either.
See, I didn't understand that, cause
Yeah.
that's the way I took it, was that it was our website that they were talking about.
No, I had brought it up at the last meeting, and time for them to change it. Somebody was
That's the
trying to
Maybe
get a
I need
hold of
getting the
it.
updated
Yeah.
minutes on our.
Well, I can look through our website and
Yeah.
see if there, it wasn't minutes, it was info.
Information, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's fire
I
department.
misunderstood.
No, that's-
what I was
but-
about the ambulance way they have. But I would, my vision someday would be that it would be one, it would be all emergency services and it'd be under one umbrella and
Right.
ACW, more volunteers and one umbrella would save us insurance to have one entity, you know, but I don't know what's involved on that, our authority on the fire site's kind of falling apart right now, so I don't know if anybody wants to bring more into it.
Better get it together.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I think that's why we eventually ended up going with the authority on both, cause down the road,
Yeah.
down the road.
Yeah,
I don't know.
involved in those very much of that.
So, moving on, Deb Goslin, her term on the planning commission ends in December.
Mhm.
This is November.
And she would serve again.
She would like to serve again. Talked to her today, she was very ecstatic.
That's why she's here.
Yeah.
So, I would like
gonna donate her
to
pay.
ask the board if they're okay with that, and I would like to make a motion to reappoint Deb Goslin for a 3-year term to our Wisner Township Planning Commission Board, and I would like a second. All in favor? Motion passes. Congratulations, Deb. Planning Commission update. That's
Yeah,
Lisa.
and Brad, maybe a little bit, can
Yeah,
talk
of
about
course.
some of the stuff he's been working on. We would like to hear from the public, we don't get very much public participation in our meetings, but we would like to hear from the public what they would like us to be working on. State law requires us to meet 4 times a year, and I mean, in the old days, they just came and sat here for 15 minutes and got paid $95 or $100 and went home. You know, there are things, some issues in the township, you know, blight, RVs, short-term rentals and things that have been hot topics on MTA, you know, that they're telling us that townships are working on. But when we try to work on something and bring it back to the township board, they don't support what we are proposing. So we need more public participation, we need to hear from the public. What do you think that we should be working on that would improve our community? We don't wanna restrict people's land use, it's their property and they should have the right to use it, enjoy it, but we also don't want to, somebody's lack of taking care of something or not meeting our zoning ordinance, to reflect and prevent their neighbor from enjoying their property, fences, that type of thing. So we really encourage more public participation, so that we are working on stuff that people are interested in and will come to a meeting and show the board that you support that. So that we're not just spinning our wheels, because some of the commission members are getting discouraged that we're not seeing progress made on stuff that we've worked very hard on, so. And then Brad, I don't know if you wanna give a little bit of an update on what you've been working on.
Yeah, actually I do. This last week, well, actually since the planning and zoning meeting, we've had several things take place. I have sent out zoning violation letters to, Donnell's, I'm sorry, let me back up, not to Donnell. McConnell, Reese, Bill Clark, per Tracy's request, she's got one coming. One of the things I found out, had a couple of productive talks with Jerry White. We have some problems.
Jerry's from the health department.
I'm sorry, environmental health. He's the director. We have a couple of problems. There's obviously, health department can only do so much. Has to do with water, sewer, living conditions are based on that. We have zoning that prohibits the use of, not specifically, but accessory buildings as living facilities. They're actually going after McConnell and the Reese property. We now have accumulated, oh my God, is it 6 or 7 new buildings on those properties after we got a court order to eliminate all that. And again, like I said, I have been in conversations. I really think, and again, zoning and planning, we've talked about it before. The Donnell property, there's nothing that can be done right now with this guy living in this dilapidated Chevy van motorhome. Health department won't even look at it. He said it's kind of out of their hands. But we're gonna need to do something somewhere along the line. We got this guy living down on Janelle's property. That's turning into a blighted situation now. There's just some things that we need to take into consideration as far as, travel trailers, dilapidated mobile homes. Larry's hauled in a couple of derelict travel trailers that they're using down there. The gal that gave me all the grief the other day claimed that the 2 sheds bolted together are a house. It is not a house. It's 2 sheds. They're all in violation. So we'll have to see where that goes.
But the health department and prosecutor are working on that.
Health department has gone to the prosecutor about that situation because of the fact they worked with us last time, the dead lady, giving us the go-ahead on clearing the whole property. There was not a specific order that prohibits anybody from being on the property. That's a problem. And it's not about the amount of contamination that was there. I've got to call Detroit Edison. I've heard in passing, again, hearsay, that Larry has managed to hook up electricity back there again by bypassing DTE. So I've got to contact them. I've been trying to find out who the new planner is. But so anyway, just been a lot going on with that. I have got to send Jerry over the paperwork that we did up and sent out. So he's got it for his records for the prosecutor.
You mean the zoning?
The zoning violations, yeah. And the thing too, and I don't know, we wrote a zoning violation, unpermitted accessory buildings. That's not just a one building deal. That's every building that's in violation on those properties. So Reese's has got 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5. McConnell's possibly got 2 now.
Four. Two garages and 2 trailers.
Well, one of the trailers is
One of the
trailers is gone. When I went back in the other day,
Okay.
yeah, one of the travel trailers was gone.
Right.
But see, the problem is we can't determine whose property those 3 are on. It's got to be on the line, if anything, which is again another it's just violation after violation. Now the thing is that like before, once we issue these letters, then they'll get a second warning, and after that second warning, if they don't comply, I have the authority to write the citation, the ticket. I think you've got the book, don't you? The ticket book?
I've seen it.
Okay, that's a civic violation. That will end up going to court just like we did with Coleman and just like we did with McConnell the last time. It's a process and it takes a while.
And we should check and make sure that our ticket book is the latest.
Up to date, yeah.
Because I think
Well-
we wrote a ticket one time before and it was the old ticket form. not the
Yeah,
new
yeah, we had to
ticket
get a
form,
new book.
so They just turned it away
Yeah.
because it was on the.
Is it
Well,
one
they-
of the speeding tickets too?
The other thing that's going to happen with me here, and I had the ability to do it before. At some point, I need to be able to talk to the attorney. I had to before on issues that we had going on. At some point, I'm going to have to talk to him. I can email him, kind of get his take on things. But as this thing progresses, he's kind of going to have to be in the loop with me as far as doing everything correctly. I guess it's the same reason that they waited so long to charge McConnell, why he's in jail now, is they took the time to create a case that they thought would hold. And that's, we've done this once. Damn, we got to do it again. It's
Well, I
just,
know Brian was involved
Okay.
before. with
Yeah,
that.
Brian
If
Garner.
if I may, I talked to Jerry White today, and we went over these letters that they sent out. He's pretty sure, as we are, that they will not be vacating the premises
Oh, yeah.
by December 2nd, which is their deadline. Which at that point, it goes on to the prosecutor's office, and they take it into their hands. So he said that with our zoning violations, he says it's up to us if we wanted to pursue that. He said the way this is going now, he said it's looking like it's going to the prosecutor. He also mentioned what you just said, having some record, some history of what's going on here, keeping track of that. So that's what he said today. He said if you wanted to do write a violations, multiple, that would take us into court. At this point here, pretty sure it's going to get handed over to the prosecutor anyhow, which will then make them leave.
yeah, well, they can make the people leave, but they can't take care of the zoning violations.
The
We
cleanup.
have to do that.
I agree, and the cleanup will be less the sooner.
The sooner
Exactly.
we get them out. Yeah, before more is moved in.
Precisely.
Well, all the judge did is allow this mess to happen again.
So, and then, the second thing you talked about is talking with, Brian, with our attorney.
Yes.
That's further down on the agenda, if I may approach that then.
Okay. Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. No, just making the request because at some point
Yes.
I
it's-
have to have better legal advice.
Oddly enough, it's on the agenda and I don't even
Yeah.
know why. Was it 'cause
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good.
Okay, anything else from you?
No, when we set our 2026 meeting schedules, it'll be on its
Oh,
board
yeah,
in
he's-
January,
he's,
April, July.
He was doing his report.
Okay.
Did you
Oh,
have
yeah,
anything
well,
else?
no, if you talk to Jerry, you've got the gist of what's going on. But like I said, I'm sending him copies of,
He started
the McConnell
about
and
10
Reese.
years ago, and it took him, to date, took about 6 minutes. So that, right straight across.
Well,
I
there's,
had most of the paperwork in front
and
of me,
I
but he
think there's a
was,
new director at the health department, his boss has changed, so that's why there's some interest in taking care of these situations, I think, too. That came up.
alright, so.
Brad, I got a question. Brad, former people, I was one that brought up Larry.
Yep.
and we were kept bringing in Brian and talking about them violations, I don't think Brian helped us then. He kept putting it off.
No, Brian helped us get that cleaned up when we
Yeah,
got, when we
was-
went to
Once, yeah, it got,
I'll have time to talk about whether or
Well,
not
anyways,
Brian's gonna help us. We
Yeah,
can-
I don't even know if Brian's aware of what's going on. That's why I say, at some point I need to talk to him, so
Okay.
I just
Yeah,
wondered if that was a
We'll talk
possibility.
about that in just a moment. Okay, make sure I get my notes on here. Okay, moving on to, thank you, Fred. Moving on to planning commission, I'm sorry, that's that, web host.
Yeah, we got our own domain, we used to use a free web service, and the problem with free web services is they get discontinued, and we get discontinued without any notice, and so then all of a sudden, you don't have a website anymore, and nowadays, we're required to have copies of our ordinances and documents and policies, available for the public, and a website is the easiest way to make those available. So, 5 years ago, we prepaid for 5 years of web hosting, and that's how GoDaddy does it. Because we were new customers, we got free domain name and we paid $756.28. Our web hosting expired today. Their automatic renewal, which I chatted with them, you can't talk to a real person, you just have to chat online, was gonna be $1,379 plus $110 that we approved last month for the domain. I said, that's not acceptable. I didn't tell him, but I really don't have a lot of time to go recreate the whole website from scratch. But I don't think we should be paying significantly more than we did 5 years ago. They got more competition than they did 5 years ago. So the person last Thursday told me that they could they'd give me a $600 discount, because there really wasn't much they had to do to take care of us since we're already customers. But today they charged my card $1,379, so I have to go back on now and get that back. But they will still honor the $600 discount that they offered me. We have to pay $110 for the domain registration for 5 years and $779.40 for the web hosting. But I would really like to not have to recreate the wheel, reinvent the wheel, and just spend more time updating it than totally redoing it with another provider. So that's on the bills to be discussed at the end of approving the bill. So I just wanted to give a little history of what I'm asking for.
Oh, land division, we're moving on, land division ordinance discussion.
Do we have to do a motion or anything for,
We got it in the pay the bills, we got it done.
We'll approve it.
Deal with it then.
Thank you for thinking of that.
So, a little while back, we had a land combination
Application, and since you helped with that, right?
division, oh, combination. yeah,
Combination, yep. So Lisa and I worked on it together with Nathan, but it still felt like something was missing. Obviously, it was my first one, so I was quite ignorant to it, but we learned as we went. We contacted people. Still felt like something was missing. So today, well, this past week, I was informed that it's up to the zoning administrator to do land split or to start the help the resident with such split or combination. Well, then I looked that up and it turns out that I was wrong on that. That's incorrect. So I called MTA and I talked to this lady for a long time today, and she said regardless of whose job it is, and it does matter, that everyone needs to be involved and that every one of our board members needs to be able to contact the attorney respective of their role. You can't be calling him for all willy-nilly things, but if we don't work together and everyone be in the loop on everything, and for the first time I'll say the word transparency is huge, and without everyone knowing what is going on, things are forgotten. It just happens. Everyone's busy. It's a thing. So I would like to come up with somewhat of a plan tonight, procedure that we can send to Brian, that he can write up. That gets everybody on all the boards working as a team and working together. So for example, if a land split comes in, just got one recently, land combination, either or, the first, whoever it comes to, it can come to anyone, because people don't know, residents don't know where to send it. To the assessor needs to be informed about it, the township board, the zoning administrator, and then the attorney, if need be, respectively, of the situation. I would like the board's opinion on this. It would really be it's a policy, I don't know if I call it proper procedure, it would be organized procedure. So there's a, what would you call it? A procedure, where everybody knows what's going on. Brad knows that I've got this one here and he's gonna let Hager know, or if Brad already let Hager know, he's gonna get a whole
The actual form that we
communication.
currently have, that was used,
Right.
has applications going to both the assessor and you.
Right, so actually, right now, what our ordinance is that it goes to the assessor and then the board. I do not believe, I saw the administrator, I could be wrong, but I can't see how we could do a combination or a land split without the zoning administrator's knowledge.
Right.
That's, I think, what was confusing me on the first one. So when this one came in, I was like, well, I need Brad, so could that make sense? That he be hold and file if you want, but then to include Nathan Hager and myself and Lisa's, she's busy, but she doesn't mind being included. More eyes on it, the better. That way records are kept better. Does the board agree? Would we like to move forward with such policies? Contact Brian? Okay. You want me to just write something up, kind of what I just said?
Yeah.
Okay. But in the meantime, Brad, as zoning administrator, you already have the authority to contact Brian.
Okay, good.
But remember, we get billed by the, what,
Yes.
tenth of an hour?
By that, yeah, I was gonna say, is it half or quarter? Yes.
Don't ask what to talk about the weather.
So, and Judy from MTA, she said, she just kept saying, Tracy, respective of their role, and I said, they know their role. So, alright,
Sounds great.
okay. Then, let me make sure that was all of them.
Oh, I was just gonna say one thing. In the past, actually, a lot of what Brian has had to do with me has involved me sending him documents to
Correct.
review. After a general conversation about content, what we were looking for, and just verification. So, I don't know how much he charges for emails, but we've done that a few times, so.
I'm gonna make sure I covered everything on that in a second.
Do we have another name combination to discuss then?
After
After this, okay.
Oh, also, that job is an employee position, paid position.
Right.
So, she suggested that we check with the assessor, make sure that he's good with the way our ordinance is written up. But I feel, I don't know, he's been doing it, I didn't ask him. I guess I should maybe do some research before I write something up and bring it back. Take it to Brian and bring it to the board.
Because if we want to change
It's
it,
been
we
this way
have to
for
have
how
like
long?
a
You
public,
have-
it's 2017 is the date on this copy here, so
Yes.
it's going on 8 years old.
So it wouldn't hurt to have a conversation
Yeah.
with Nathan. And then,
I don't know that the ordinance per se is broken, I think we just need to be better coordinated in how we
yeah,
respond
and this
to
will
the
help
things, yeah.
with this having a,
Yeah.
a step to go through. We can change it if it isn't working for us. Then you have a copy of our current ordinance. It is online, very easy to find on our website. Anyone can want to read it. I encourage you to do so. Next on the agenda is land combination Oakers Park, Thomas Perry. I have all the information here. I didn't get it all that long ago, Brad. I figured I'd just give it to you. When it comes back to the board, then they can see what it is. Nathan does not know about it, so. Sound good?
Yep, nope, that's fine.
Yeah, because I'm aware of it. We gotta get this, we gotta figure it out. Well, that was sent to here, to the clerk, you gave it to me. Or was it to the clerk when I opened it, I think it was.
Oh, that was the envelope that came in the mail that you
Yeah,
had in your
from the
desk,
attorney.
okay, okay.
Who's actually a resident. Alright, land combination. Alright, we are on to extended public comment.
And that was a result of a request at the planning commission level, and Tracy agreed to add an extended public comment, so thank you for
It'd be
doing that.
nice if it was kept respectfully and give us time to respond should we need to. Yes.
Angie again, 2509 Gager, I don't know if I need to repeat that, but I just need to clarify, okay, Lisa, how much was that fence that they put up? That- $27,000. And they're going to do a bid to tear it down, correct?
No,
Oh, you're not bidding, so you're just gonna,
we weren't gonna pay somebody to tear it down, no.
okay, so it's just gonna magically come out of the ground by itself,
They're gonna
or?
buy it from us and.
Don't get
Oh,
it
so the
down.
person who buys it will pull it out and take it, right? So you plan to get to about, how much you think? Couple thousand?
We
I
don't
had
know,
somebody
we haven't had.
mention a couple dollars a foot, but. you know,
Okay,
it's a-
so where does that make sense? I mean, is it, what is the main, I mean, I don't know why I have a hard on about this stupid fence, but why are we tearing down a perfectly good fence that looks straight, perfectly nice, maintained? What is the reason to tear it down? I just wanna know.
Snow blowing is a problem.
What
Huge
is it?
problem.
Huge problem. When we have to plow in the cemetery, you have to push snow, and Jim
So is it
does
just
this
that
at
back,
Lindy's.
back piece there?
It was
that's
on the
worst
side
part.
here, was actually.
So
on the
there's
east
quite a
side
bit of
it.
space between
When-
that and Brody's house, right?
But that's the part of the
The-
fence that
the
got
back is-
damaged. There's not, there wasn't a lot of distance.
That is where it's
Well,
damaged.
it drifts in
Yeah.
horrible too.
And,
It
and
starts to
we
drift
don't
on
have the
that
ability
road.
to come and take the snow away. You have to push the snow someplace here, and you're not supposed to move snow to somebody else's property either. Right, Wade? You're not supposed to push it
Well,
inside.
actually,
It
actually,
gets pushed into the fence if it
oh,
snows there.
back here.
So how many
When
feet
there
is it between
no
the
fence,
roads?
oh, back here when there is no fence for I don't know how many years, Mr. Vader's let us blast it off of the cemetery road into his field, and it can't be done now because of the fence.
Oh, it won't go over the fence, the
Correct, and
front
you can't
stops
get going
it.
fast enough to get it to fly over the fence.
Oh.
And the fence gets damaged when you push the snow into it. When
So-
you compact that snow, if it's a wet, heavy snow, it's gonna move whatever's in the way.
How many feet is it from the road to the west side of the fence?
You mean over here?
Yeah.
I would say that's maybe 10, 12 feet. I don't know, I'm just.
Yeah.
Oh, it's way more than, it's way more than 10 feet.
I don't know. I know there's a strip of grass there on the back.
But I
there's
know-
not.
Jim plows the snow at our parking lot at the business, and he's always complaining, cause we have a fence at the business too, that when it snows a lot, where do I push the snow? You can't push into the fence, cause you knock the fence down or damage your fence, and it's like,
So
it
it's
is
a matter of
problem.
snow.
And we wanted to have people.
Snow
be
is the
able to
only
come.
reason.
Snow and weed whacking.
Yeah.
Well, weed whacking should be really, I mean, you could spray weed killer along a fence, so you wouldn't have to weed whack. Which we know that Vader's son does weed, or grandson does spraying of weeds. I've seen that, so, that weed whacking is not even an issue.
It's still costly, and he says that it takes more time than the mowing.
To run a little sprayer on your back and do a psh,
The weed whacking.
yeah, but I'm saying, that's where the weed killer comes in, and you just spray along a fence line.
Okay, thank you for your comment, Angie.
Okay, well, I guess you just don't give a shit. You're not transparent.
We do give a shit, and we just said why we wanna take it down. Any other public comment? Yeah.
Pam Shook, Bath Road, Fairgrove. My question is that lowering that assessment, I paid $8,100 in over 40 years. I'm going to pay over $10,000. That We raised it according to what Bill Fahey, the attorney, said to raise it. And I think that was a pretty poor decision without any legal advice, just because you have friends that want water. And they're not in the assessment district. That was the purpose of raising it, because they're out of the assessment
I'm
district.
offended. It has nothing to do with any of my friends, so I'm offended.
Well-
by that comment. Please let me finish. We said that I would contact the attorney as soon as possible, and we can rescind the motion if it was something we shouldn't have done.
And are you gonna contact Bill Fahey, the one that wrote the ordinance and the one that worked on the water? Because that's who we ever dealt with
We have an
water.
attorney, and that's who we use.
No, we always use Bill for the water. We've always used his firm for the water.
Then that's where I'll end up going.
And then second, if all these people on Bradford Road, in Bradleyville Road, in down Elmwood Road, why don't you look into making another water assessment district so that they could have it at that rate? Then there would be a feasibility study to come up with what the rate should be. Just like it was for us, for Akron, for everybody, there was an engineering study done, and that's maybe what you should do since you want to bring it all the way down Elmwood, you want to take it down Cass City Road. I mean, you're extending it quite a ways. So why don't you look into another water assessment district and make it fair? Because those people didn't want it when the original water went through.
Thank you for your